Episode 33 of the Skibidi Toilet Multiverse just dropped, and it was the longest Skibidi Toilet episode in history. We were introduced with a lot of new and strong characters, and in this video I will be analyzing this for you, and try to find any hidden Easter eggs. Hello everyone, Elite TV Agent here. Subscribe to the channel and smash the like button for more awesome videos like this. Now here we go. Before I analyze the episode, I will like to point out some Easter eggs I may have missed while analyzing the secret scene. When the photographer man walked inside the room, we saw a few books, and on the side of the books is each race, camera speaker, TV, clock drill, and pencil. And I think in these books are all the information and technology about these races. But before the pencil race arrived, Dom himself said that there will be 2 new races, one including the pencil race. And notice we haven't seen another book with the other race, which means it's still kept secret from us. But what if I tell you that the new race is right in front of our eyes? We see there's a fan right here. And this could be a hint that the new race will be fan men. And that actually isn't bad. And I'm sure there will be very helpful for the Alliance. And it's still not clear what or who is hiding here. But I think we will know soon. And in this picture with the large pencil and the bouncer drill man along with photographer man, we see a Morse code. And if you translate this, it says, sorry, I really don't have an explanation for this, but let me know what you guys think. Now let's analyze the latest episode. The episode starts off with our POV flushing an ordinary toilet with ease, but notice the toilet wasn't moving. I'll tell you why soon. But as he looked up, we saw a toilet with multiple heads swiftly running towards us. We saw these in episode 24 of the original series, and these guys are really fast. Before he could reach us, someone threw some type of clock at him which forces him to stop moving. This is the same thing our POV used on this toilet, which is why he wasn't moving. Then we see as a cameraman confidently walks up to the toilet and flashes him without any difficulties, and he immediately flew off somewhere, and gosh, he seems to be in a good mood. Perhaps he got a kiss from one of the women. I guess we'll never know, but that's besides the point. Then we see Titan cameraman coming in as he easily picks up a toilet tank with his gravity gun, and while he was playing with him, he almost hit us. But then Titan TV man came in and finished him off. Poor guy. He looked like he had a family to go home to. All jokes aside, the setting of this place looks like the setting of the battle that happened in episode 32. Titan Clockman flew in and the trio were reunited again. But all calm and quiet moments were over as a black smoke appeared, and we saw 3 toilets. And this one resembles the one from episode 55 of the original series, and these toilet isn't going to be a challenge for this trio. The Titans just stands there deciding who will go defeat them because apparently it will be too easy for a 3 versus 3. So Titan TV man went in while saying, I'll do it myself. As he went in, he took 2 punches from a boxing toilet, and this clearly didn't do nothing to him. He puts a funny face expression and lifts his hands to fight hand to hand. Then Titan cameraman charges in with his hammer, fighting with this toilet. And this is the same toilet from episode 14, and I thought he died after Titan Drillman nuked that area, but he escaped because he also has the ability to teleport, and he seems to be giving Titan cameraman a bit of a challenge. Then we see Titan TV man having a boxing match with this toilet, and eventually he got bored and used his red TV beam and stabbed the poor toilet in his head and finished him off with his lasers. Then we see as Titan cameraman used his gravity gun to kill the lava toilet with his own lava, which is very clever. Then the skull toilet came in for his whoop ass, and blood literally got jumped by the both of them, and he collected a hard slap from Titan TV man. And as they keep fighting, Titan cameraman shots at him, but the toilet douges making Titan TV man collecting the attack in his core, but he fire his core at him, but the toilet uses a shield. Then Titan cameraman lands the finishing attack, killing the toilet with his gun being destroyed in the process. Titan Clockman clapped as he looked very proud as he fixed Titan cameraman's gun, using his time powers. Then someone passed by with incredible speed, and it put our Titans in shock as this thing was fast as hell. Titan TV man said what the A's, even him never saw something moved that fast before. This thing was so fast that Titan Clockman was forced slow down time, and when he stopped it we see that it's an ASTRO toilet. And I didn't know these toilets existed in this series, and he kind of resembles the juggernaut ASTRO from the original series. We see as the ground opened up, which makes a cameraman runs for his life, and this was just getting worse. We see as the Titans fight against the ASTRO, but this guy is very powerful, and he give them a challenge. But eventually he ran away because he didn't want it to die because we see there's a lot of nukes coming out of the ground and it was about to destroy everything. Our Titan was panicking as they didn't know what to do. But Titan Clockman took all of his energy and dramatically paused time, and while doing this we see as the Astro toilet came back. But time had already paused, as everyone was frozen. Titan Clockman summoned his sword and drew a large circle around the area, and while time unpaused, he created a large force field to make the nuke explode inside of that. I'm not really sure if that happened, but correct me if I'm wrong. We see another black smoke, and it was the scientist. It seems like toilets are coming one by one at this point, but our Titans were ready to fight as the Astro toilet joins his side. As the scientist and Titan Clockman looked at each other, the scientist let out a wide smile, still thinking he could beat him. Then Titan TV Man wiped out his sword and said, "You'll taste my sword." Then the scene cuts, and it showed us what happened 10 hours earlier. We see as a Skibidi hybrid run down a stairs to guide in the scientist as he flies in. Then we see a container coming out, and inside was the real scientist. But how does he breathe inside there? Doesn't he sweat? That's a question that will never be answered. But we see as the hybrid showed the scientist something, and this had me speechless. We see how Skibidi mutants are being made, and to be honest, they look kinda cool the way they make them. But I think one day we will see as all of them will be out fighting and they will die because the alliance is too strong for them. But as they come out of this thing, they kinda look like a zombie, or even worse. And we also see that they're equipped with sharp weapons. The scientist and the hybrid nods at each other. Then the scientists were taken into an empty room, and I wondered why was he in there in the first place. It seems like even him was confused, but we weren't ready for what we were about to see. We see as a scientist in a wheelchair came in, but he's not a human because he's in a toilet, but we normally see toilets with just a head. But this guy had a half a body, which kinda shocked me, and he can also talk. And he and the scientist were talking about something, and it seems like they're talking about some other people, and this scientist offered to take the scientist there and show him. But the scientist had a kind of attitude while this one seemed joyful. But remember, they're all evil. As he took the Skibidi scientist to see the people he wanted to see, he took him inside a room, and we saw some tubes, and one was opened. That means that someone escaped, and we see him right here, and he goes by the name Leo. At first I thought this was a full human, but he's another Skibidi mutant. But he looks different from the rest. But they're more of him. As this professor typed something on a computer, I can't help but notice he has a mask on his face, and I think he uses it to breathe. Meanwhile, Leo asked the scientist if he still uses the Skibidi language, which the scientist replied in the language he usually speaks, and I didn't know what he said. And Leo said, "Sir, with respect, I have no idea what you're talking about, but it seems like the toilets can speak English as well as the scientist." But for some reason, he still chose to speak in his Skibidi language. As the scientist walked up to the professor, he had already opened up the tubes, and these guys looked incredible as they opened up one by one. Each of them came out, and it had a female among them, and she looked strong as hell because look at these arm-like things here. I just need to know what type of toilets are these because they look different from normal Skibidi hybrids, but they're clearly stronger, and these guys were released because the toilets are losing the war. According to the professor, this guy named Bully came out and literally destroyed his tube before the professor said that it's expensive. We also see that they have number on them. Billy is number 10 and this guy's was number 6. But I couldn't find the number for Leo, and the female number 6 asked how long has it been, which the professor hesitantly replies with long enough because he doesn't want to let them know for some reason. And in this frame, I noticed that the female is number 8, so I'll call her that until I figure out her name. Then the professor said he'll explain the detail on the way, and he mentioned a commander and he says that he's waiting, so it seems like these guys has a commander and we are going to meet him. The scene cuts to everyone walking through a hallway, and number 8 asked, "When did the commander wake up?" which the professor replies with, "From the beginning," as they keep walking. Number 8 mentioned the Titan Clockman, and she says he dominating the war, which number 6 asked, "What's the plan to kill him?" Then the professor laughs and said that they can't kill him, which I 100% agree with because this guy has never took a scratch since he returned. He basically solos the verse at this point. Number 6 grabbed the professor and slams him on the wall after hearing that they can't kill Titan Clockman, and he asked him, "Then what's the point of your existence then?" Leo tried calming him down, but then number 6 said, "Seems like at least this baldy guy was trying something in the battlefield," which he was referring to the scientist. But how did they know about Titan Clockman and everything? If they were asleep, it seems like they still were aware of what were happening. Eventually, he let the professor go, And he talked about how they could win the war by keeping Titan Clockman busy until the G-Man apocalypse is ready to launch. And it seems like G-Man is the only person that can go on against Titan Clockman. But he still isn't enough to beat him. He said that the G-Man apocalypse will launch in less than 15 hours. And keep in mind this happened 10 hours before all this happened. So that means in 5 hours the G-Man apocalypse will launch and G-Man will come back to the battlefield. And the professor said no matter how many Titans they have, the war will be over. And remember, the pencil race has a goal, and that is to stop the G-Man apocalypse from happening. And when it launches, we may be introduced to the Pencil Titan since dealing with the G-Man apocalypse is their goal, so it makes sense. Or maybe Titan Speaker will show up with his upgrades, no matter what happens. I doubt Titan Clockman can't deal with it, because the professor said they can't kill him. As everyone proceeds to keep walking, they talk about the clock race and their powers. They even said that they're broken. The professor also said that there's also drills and pencils, and the word pencil triggered Billy as he punched a hole in the wall. As the professor was opening the door, Billy began yapping about he can't wait to crush some pencils and speakers. Then number 8 said, I can say after what pencils did you have the right to say so? This mean that they know about the pencil race and they have some kind of beef, but what did the pencils do to them? Hopefully we get to know in the future, but for now we can just wait. Then Billy has the audacity to call Titan Speakerman trash. Kids, don't do drugs, because Titan Speakerman easily crushed Billy and we know he is upgraded, so now he's stronger than ever. The professor finally opened the door and I figured out that number 8 name is Susie. While everyone stands before the commander, we see a picture of the first Skibidi toilet. And I already knew who the commander was. Then it had a sign that reads, Commander, because we have arrived by him. Then we see that his number is 07, and that made me really knew who this was, as we saw the commander's face. I was right, this is male 07, and I legit have a lot to say. It makes sense for his number to be 07 because the character's name is male 07 and he looks amazing, even though these guys are evil. I love the character designs and everything. As everyone stands before him, the professor called him by commander. And the episode ends. Dom. I don't know how you and your team were able to cook up a 11-minute episode in such a short time, but please keep up the amazing work. This episode was crazy, and I am hyped for episode 34. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you will not miss the analysis on episode 34, and join the Discord server to be notified when leaks and new episodes are released. Elite TV Agent out.